Today we're gonna go over everything you need to know about budgeting for your upcoming Walt Disney World trip, especially for adults or solo travelers coming out here to this incredible park. Now, you know me, I like to dive right in to give you those tips and strategies to help you start planning today. As you know, that traveling to Disney World is a dream for most people. But the real struggle comes in balancing the trip and the budget. A Disney World vacation can cost you about $1,300 to $1,500 per person for a 6 to 7 day trip. How do you save for a trip? Now that you know that this Disney budget is quite possible, you have to set some realistic budgeting expectations. If you set a budget that is too small, then you're only going to frustrate yourself when you don't have enough money to cover the actual time that you're at Walt Disney World. So you definitely want to make a budget that's something that's more realistic for you. If an average cost for a trip to Disney is about $1,000 to $1,500, then I say try to save between $1,300 and $1,500. That way you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room while you're there. The next thing you're going to need to do is to focus on your needs. And by this, I mean when you're at home and you're going through everything that you're normally spending each month, then you're gonna have to start thinking about, okay, do I really need this extra latte? Or can I use that and start saving it away into my savings account for that trip to Disney? And it's at this point, you're gonna wanna figure out what are your absolute must-dos that you're gonna wanna do on your Disney trip so that when you are cutting out some of those expenses, you kind of know in your head, I'm cutting out this extra thing so that I could have an incredible dinner at Spice World's table in Epcot to make up for it on my Disney trip. The next thing you wanna do to kind of help you save for Disney is to stay in and eat a little bit more. So this is a good way for you just to kind of get your cooking skill game up. But staying in and kind of cooking more is definitely going to cut your going out to eat budget down. So slowly but surely, you're going to have that money to head out to Walt Disney World for your solo trip. The next thing you want to think about is, well, I like to call it Netflix and save, meaning you have Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus. I know you're not going to get rid of Disney Plus. Peacock. I mean, it's just so many. Even audio subscriptions that you are listening to stream music. Some of that stuff is just going to have to be on pause until you can get to your Disney trip. And if you start just saying, I'm only going to have one, and you're paying for all of them, you're going to realize you're going to have a good amount of change to keep putting into that savings jar for Disney. The next tip that I have for you is a big one that helps you save money for Disney, and it's to keep your travel money separate. You need to have two checking accounts. One, you call it fun money. That's where you put all your adulting fun in there. Then the next checking account is your bill pay account. That's the account that you keep money in there to pay your bills. Then you're going to have your two savings account. You're going to have your emergency fund, which is going to be about 3 to 6 months of your expenses in there. And then your next savings account is your Disney vacation, solo trip, whatever you want to call it. That's your account where you're going to keep stacking up that money. And every time you log into your bank account, then you see that Disney trip account and you just see it keep going up every month and every month. And by the time you know it, you have all your money and probably a little bit more than you need for your solo trip. Now let's go into how to actually start planning your Disney vacation on a budget. Plan your inexpensive Disney vacation around the non-peak season. It's a disaster when it comes to your budget and crowds as well. It's best to avoid taking your Disney trip during these days. During this time, a single park admission ticket, the prices are hiked up. And you could sometimes, for a one-day ticket, end up spending like $160 versus $109 on non-peak days. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is to try to hold off from buying all of those Disney amenities that you can kind of add on to your trip. Do not let the desire to make the vacation perfect pressure you into purchasing all those Disney add-on experiences like Memory Maker, your Photo Pass. Like, you don't need that. My advice to you would be to just stick to your Disney budget and just say no. You got goals, you're trying to get there. You're not trying to go broke trying to get there. The next thing you're going to want to do is to keep an eye out on all the sales and try to get the cheapest Disney tickets. So one of the other options that I do recommend is trying an authorized Disney ticket seller, and they have a direct relationship with Walt Disney World. So they're able to get the tickets from Disney at a great rate. That way they can pass the deals on to you. The next thing you're going to want to decide is whether you're going to stay on-site or off-site, meaning are you going to stay at a Disney hotel or you're going to stay at just an Orlando hotel? Now, staying off-site is definitely cheaper of the two options. However, it's best that you calculate which one is going to work the best for you. See, the perks of staying off property are that the rooms come at a super discounted price compared to a Disney hotel. However, it's not going to do you any good if the same price gets consumed into time commuting and the price of commuting from your resort or hotel to Walt Disney World. On the other hand, staying on property at Disney will cost more than double the price of an off-property hotel. However, you're going to get some of those free perks like round-the-clock shuttles. I find the best option as far as the Disney hotel experience is just the Swan and Dolphin. Either one of those two resorts will work. See, they're not technically a Disney hotel, but they're on a Disney property. And they do allow you to have some of those perks that I mentioned that other Disney hotels get to have. And the main thing is that they're in the center of one of the two top parks at Disney, which is Epcot and Hollywood Studios. The next thing is to buy your Disney souvenirs and merchandise ahead of time. Who wants to spend almost $30 to have a Mickey ear like match all your outfits? So I recommend checking out sites like Etsy, Amazon, any of those things, even going to the Disney outlet stores that may be at your local premium outlet store. You're gonna find Mickey Mouse ears for 50% off, sometimes 75% off. Another bonus tip that I have for you is if you are a t-shirt person like me, stop at places like Five Below. Five Below are on it. They have some of the best Disney t-shirts, and guess what? They're all $5. Now we're gonna talk about how to save money while you're at Walt Disney World. The first thing is to know about the free things to do. You can visit Disney Springs, where you stop by the Ghirardelli shop to sample some chocolates for free. You can groove to the nightlife outside the amphitheater. You can go window shopping. The next thing that you could do at Disney is to take a leisurely walk along Disney's turn-of-the-century boardwalk. It is such an incredible place. I love walking there early in the morning before everybody wakes up. The next free thing that you could do at Disney is to take a scenic boat ride. They can take you around the lagoon from Hollywood Studios to all the resorts on the Epcot side, all the way to Epcot. And you can also enjoy the boat transportation over at Wilderness Lodge, taking it out there to the Magic Kingdom. There are so many things that you can do at Walt Disney World for free. The next way to save money at Disney is to bring your own food. No, you don't have to carry it on a plane, but you can have food delivered to you from stores like Publix here in Florida. They can deliver you groceries there. They can deliver you wine, beer. That way you don't have to spend so much money on the beer and wine in the park. When you get back to your resort room, you can unwind, think about your day, take a shower, and then enjoy your glass of wine overlooking your balcony. The next thing you can do is to bring your own water bottle. Now, I recommend bringing a refillable water bottle that has a filter system inside of it. You can find a lot of these on Amazon. It's an incredible way, especially if you don't feel like waiting in line to get, a cup of water, or you get that cup of water, you want to run it through your filter just to be on the safe side. One of the questions I am asked, like I mentioned before, is when is the cheapest time to go to Walt Disney World? I don't like to give you a hardcore time, but if I had to choose, I would say somewhere between like January 9th to about February 8th. These aren't hardcore dates. These are just times to give you like a little time frame on when picking your trip. You can also consider about August 19th through September, mid-September, or towards the end of September. So another question you may be thinking about, which Disney ticket is best for me? Should I get Park Hopper? So if it's a holiday, if it's a vacation time frame, that's not a value season. Now, if you want to just spend your day at one park on one day, and you just want to do everything in that one park, then don't get the Park Hopper ticket. And until next time, happy park hopping hipsters.